Hi, everybody. It's Diane Neto living in Barrie. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about the hidden costs of new construction. Mark and I did a video earlier last week sometime, and we talked about, buying new construction compared to a resale home. Now, all the new construction, like there's smaller lots and more condensed housing, intensified living, so you don't get big lots and stuff. But there are also a lot of hidden costs that people don't think about when they're purchasing a new home. So I'm going to share the screen with you and give you a couple things that you should watch out for and add into the budget, because people don't realize that. So one big thing is upgrades from the original home plans. So if you look and they say starting at $699, you're probably going to be closer to $8, okay, by the time you're done. They make their most money on upgrades. So they're like, it'll be carpet throughout the whole house. And if you want laminate or hardwood, there's a big upgrade. If you want a hardwood staircase going up, it's like $15,000. So there's a huge amount of upgrades. So it says here, what buyers often don't find out until they've already fallen in love with the model is that things like granite countertops, tile aren't part of the standard package. You'll pay extra for that. If you're buying a new construction home based on a model home or a builder's plan, be sure to ask upfront what add-ons or upgrades cost. Planning your dream home without checking the price may leave you disappointed if you end up having to scale back your design to fit your budget. So I've been in some beautiful 5-bedroom, 4,000 square foot homes with absolutely no upgrades at all. Carpet through the whole house, no granite or quartz countertops, basic cabinetry. Now, when you have 9-foot ceilings, if you don't get extended uppers, it looks like your cabinets are just hanging in the middle of the wall. But again, that's a big upgrade normally. So you have to look at those things. Those upgrades are a lot of money. And a lot of times builders will throw in $20,000 worth of upgrades for free. People, they're not for free, right? They're built into the price. So no one's giving away 20 grand for free. Fill in the house with appliances. So you would assume if you're spending a lot of money, you're going to get top of the line appliances. Saying you might they might throw in appliances, but they're usually cheap and crappy. So you have to look at the cost of getting appliances that you actually want as well. Specific landscaping. So not everything's going to be included in your price, right? So you might end up getting a little wee 4-foot by 4-foot deck out your back just to be able to get out of the house safely. You might get a paved driveway. You might get sod put down. Those things all have to be in your agreement of purchase and sale. But you have to realize also it's going to be the minimum. And, it's going to look okay, but it's not going to look great. And you have to make sure that, for one, that those things are included. And for two, see if there's a timeline for it. Because I know some people that have bought and 6-8 months later, their driveway is still gravel or dirt and their backyard is not even graded or anything. So try to see if there's some kind of timeline there to protect yourself. Finishing the basement or attic space. If you want the construction company to finish either a basement or an attic, of course, you're going to have to charge for that as well. There's going to be a big upgrade. The other thing you have to realize is that when the builder charges, it's normally more money than what you could get a contractor to come in and do things for. So I know some people that they told the builder, just don't put flooring at all, because he wanted this exorbitant price to put laminate throughout the house, and they actually could do it cheaper. So they just said, don't do anything. Same with the countertop. They said, just don't put any. because he wanted like $8,000 and they got quotes at 4 or 5. So there's different things you can work around. Sometimes the builder won't do that. They'll finish it and say, if you want to change it later, you change it. So here's this too. The cost of debris or a mess all over the place, because that happens as well. So here's the tips. First of all, of course, talk to a financial advisor, figure out how much money you can afford. And I'm telling you, you have to really look at the hidden costs, because if you move in and you have a couple kids, you're going to want them to be in the backyard. When can you put a fence up? How much is a fence going to be? A lot of times fence is $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, maybe more. You want a decent deck, not just 4 stairs. How much is that going to be? So a lot of times once you add in all these extra costs, you're better off with resale. Like I'm a fan of resale because I bought brand new, and within 2 years, all in our subdivision, they were all brick bungalows. All of our back windows were leaking, and we went to the builder. Oh, that's only covered for a year, workmanship. Went to Terrion, they told us the same thing. So they wouldn't do anything about it. So we, a bunch of us took the trim all the way around the windows off and then re-insulated and put everything back, because there was like not even any insulation there. Then my tiles started cracking in the kitchen on year 2 as well, probably from house shifting or not being installed correctly, one or the other. But either way, that's workmanship too, and Terrion only covers that for 1 year as well. So basically Terrion it's kind of like a car warranty. The foundation and stuff is covered for 7 years, but the little things, in workmanship, none of that's covered. And normally when you buy a resale, 2 things, you can get one that's already been redone and everything's kind of updated, like the roof was just done, the furnace was just put in. But you've also had the settling and the shifting happen. So you're not going to have all of a sudden cracks everywhere. Like normally within the first 3 or 4 years, you're going to get those things, right? And after my experience, I was like, I don't even want to do this again, because I knew there was problems and nobody would do anything about it. So you have to look at both options. And I'm not saying new construction is totally out there, but I've just seen a lot of people get nailed with it later down the road, where when they went to close, the value wasn't even the same as when they bought it. And then they had trouble getting mortgages. And in Innisfil for a while, the one builder stopped building for 2 whole years, because in 2017 to 2019, because the value he had sold the houses for, the units he had already built in the first phase were selling for less than what the new people in phase 2 paid. So they couldn't get mortgages. So he just stopped building. And that's another thing. They can delay the closing and delay the closing up to 3 times, right? So you could put your money in there and it could be stuck there for years. If you like my stuff, hit the like, hit the subscribe, drop me a comment if there's something or a question you have, and just beware of the pitfalls, because there could be some pitfalls.